This video, we're going to take a look together at Muleskinner Amps, built by Mike Stone. Mike is a friend of mine here in Central Kentucky. He repairs a lot of guys' amps like myself, and he builds his own line of amps, this Muleskinner line of amps, which are just fantastic. And I have come to know them through really some friends of mine here locally that have the amps and that play them. And man, they're just, they always want to talk about them. And because they're really pleased with their amp and they sound terrific. And so Mike also does some repair of amps. And so I had a friend in Princeton that needed a good physical, and he was able to sort of get it back to health. And while I was there, I wanted to talk to him about his amps. And so he did that with me, and he was kind enough to let me borrow one of his amps. He actually let me put this amp in my car and drive away. So it's in my guitar room for a while, and I promise I'm going to take it back. But I'm enjoying it while I'm here. And I thought, well, while I've got it, I'm going to do a little demo of it. So maybe if you're unfamiliar with Muleskinner amps, you can hear them and see what they are. The amp is really perfection as far as the tweed and the way it's built, and the handle is just this great, big leather handle, and it's as solid as a tank. This amp is a 17-watt amp. It's got a 112 speaker in it. It has a standby switch, which I love because neither of my amps have standby switches, which is fine. It has one tone control and two volume controls. A volume control for the normal channel and a volume control for the bright channel. So he's jumpered this. So that's really what I want to show you in the video, is how you can blend these two channels. So if you have a single channel amp, you may not be as familiar with jumpering an amp, which basically means a 2-channel amp, you can just take a little patch cord and put it in both channels, and you can use the volume controls of both channels. So now you can blend the bright and the normal channel just with the volume controls. I cannot do that on a Princeton, so it just doesn't allow you to do that. I used to have a 410 Bassman that I could jumper between the two and get tone down maybe a really bright guitar a little bit with the normal channel, or a dark guitar I could use more of the bright channel and make it sparkle a little more. So with a 2-channel amp, you can get a lot of tonal variation just with the amp itself that you can't with a single channel amp. So that's why I'm interested in this model, and why I was so glad that he would let me borrow it. That's really what I want to try to bring out today in this video, is for you to hear the difference in adding those channels together. This is a fairly bright guitar. It's a Telecaster, a single coil bridge pickup. It does have a humbucker in the neck, but by most people's estimations, a bright guitar. Strats, single coil guitars, sometimes need to maybe be tempered a little bit, and I personally don't like a thin sounding, real cutty guitar, so this is a nice thing to have control over. Let's start with just the bridge position on this guitar. We'll run through the demo here clean, and then with some drive, and then we'll be done. So I hope that you can hear what this amp can do, because it's very impressive. Let's start with just the bright channel on this Tele here. I'm going to go up to, maybe 3 on the amp. Obviously, plenty of bright going on there. And I don't know that I mentioned, but there's no reverb on the amp, real simple circuit, and I'm getting the reverb that you hear from a Strymon Flint pedal. Okay, now, because it's so bright, I might want to temper that a little bit. And I can do that just by adding some of the normal channel in. See if you can hear the normal channel when I dial it in. Here's sort of the fullness. And roll back some of the bright to get that volume back down a little bit. But a bigger sound. I'm going to roll the normal channel back out, and we'll just have the bright channel. You can hear a big difference there. So we'll do that with the drive on as well. Okay, let's go the other way and use the normal channel, and hear what the amp sounds like in the normal channel. Let's go ahead and keep the bridge pickup on. More sparkle to that, we're going to dial in the bright channel a little bit. other side of the amp, and let's look at the normal channel here. And this is the normal channel by itself. Let's go up to the neck pickup here. So obviously a much darker sound. Humbucker in the neck gives it that sound to some degree. But it's nice because you can almost roll a tone off on a telly and get a real jazzy. Just, you know, really. You know, the versatility of the amp's incredible. Now, if that was a little dark for us, we'll roll in some of the bright channel. We'll roll the dark channel back. Still nice and warm sounding, but with a little more snap. Take the bright out altogether. This is just the dark channel. Oh, I just love that sound. Okay, let's use some tricks here. Let's turn both channels off. We're going to use an RC booster, little SP exotic compression. Let's use a full drop pedal and just a touch of delay because you gotta have delay. And let's start with the bright channel. Bridge position. Channel in to fatten that up a little bit. Full sound blending, I think, those two channels. Let's look at the other side of it here, and let's go with just sort of the darker channel. Let's go up to the neck pickup. So this is just a dark channel. Channel to give that maybe a little more snap. Again, so I can kind of get you know, some versatility in that neck pickup. Let's just play a couple things just to have some fun with it while we got it. So let's try some Boston. Let's get a little bit nastier pedal here. This is just the bridge pickup. right, Joe? Muleskinner Amps. Just wanted to share this with you and appreciate you taking your time to give this a listen.